Man is back.
Oh, my gosh, the red got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have delivered. You know what I'm saying? It's true. You know what I'm saying? But look at that, my God.
This is your boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True Inferno. Back at it with another Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War commentary video, and this is a big one because E3 is starting this weekend. Yes, and there's a lot of stuff to come. There's a lot of stuff to expect, and there's some things you shouldn't expect. So, in the past, I would do my 10 questions and answers, and what normally happens is I would see if those questions get answered or not. But that's not what I'm going to do this time around. Instead, what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to give off my predictions in terms of what I expect to happen. And also at the same time, I normally would say who I think will win E3 in terms of companies that make games and companies that make systems. But again, I'm not doing that this time around because there's no Sony. There's no Sony. There would be no Sony. So I won't. It's kind of hard for me to do that when all three of the companies that make game systems are not in it, and not every single company that make games, the well-known ones anyway, are not in it as well. I miss the old days, to be honest. So I'm just gonna give you guys my 10 predictions, what I think will happen. I'm not gonna do anything fancy, because I will admit I am tired, and I want to get this out the right. So let's get on with number 10. I think we're gonna get a Battlefield 6 tease. Now, before I continue on, this is from most likely to happen to least likely to happen. So number 10 is most likely to happen. Number 1 would be the least likely to happen. So obviously Battlefield tweeted, yo, something is coming. And luckily, and here's another good thing about E3 this year, which I'm kind of shocked about. There has not been any spoilers. I have not came across any spoilers personally. I have not been looking for spoilers, to be honest. Because in the past, you don't even have to look for spoilers. They'll be somewhere. They'll be on Twitter, on Facebook, somewhere. So it's not like you have to look for them. They're normally right there, and you can't help but to look at them, and they'll be on YouTube too. But this time around, it's like there's no spoilers. Oh my goodness. So now we do know that Battlefield will be at E3. We just don't know in what way, what capacity, the new one anyway. We don't know release date or anything like that. We don't even know a price. So this is going to be some very interesting stuff. But yeah, expect Battlefield 6 or whatever the new Battlefield to be called. Expect that to be at E3 this year. Number 9, Halo Infinite gameplay. So they pushed this game back a year. And I haven't really heard much about Halo Infinite. Now, since Microsoft is having their own little Xbox show on Monday, you can expect Halo Infinite to be there. Halo, not Hello. Halo Infinite. To be there in some way, shape, or form. I think they already announced the new release date. So at this point, we just need gameplay. And I think that's what we're going to get. We're going to get gameplay. So, number 9, Halo Infinite gameplay. Now, here's where things going to get a little bit dicey. The first two that I named are pretty obvious for the most part. But everything else is like, and up. So, number 8, we're going to get news on the 3 Pokemon games. Pokemon Legends, Aquarius, and the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I think we're gonna get some news. We already got the release dates for all 3 of those games. So the remakes will be in November, and the Aquarius joint will be in January. So we know about the release date. I think we're gonna get more info in terms of the features that you can do on some of those games. I don't know about all of them, but on some of those games. So because Nintendo having a Nintendo Direct, unfortunately it will only be 40 minutes long. I hope it'll be longer than that, but whatever, no big deal. So I think, again, we're going to get some new info on that, so I can't wait to see what new features will be in both of those games, especially that Pokemon Legends joint. I can't wait for that. Which brings me to my number 7, the Super Nintendo Switch. So the Nintendo Switch Pro, as some of you would like to call it. That's going to be announced at E3. So there was reports, not rumors, but reports rather, that this system was going to be released before E3. And that joint came out, what, 2 to 3 weeks ago? And now we're this close to E3, and there has been no official word of this updated system. So I think we're going to get that E3. And I'll be perfectly honest, if we don't get it at E3, because remember, not only were we supposed to get this info before E3, But it was also said, excuse me, that this system was supposed to drop this year. It was supposed to drop this year. I'm dead serious. So if we don't get the info at E3, we ain't getting it. It ain't happening. They just probably go release a new gen system, whatever the case may be, and not update this one. So I think we're going to get it, the Super Nintendo Switch. I think it makes the most amount of sense for us to get that at E3, in my honest opinion. Which leads us to number 6, Breath of the Wild 2. I think we're going to get a trailer, and I think we're going to get a release date, because they gave us a little bit of a tease. You know what, like some Nintendo Directs back, or whatever the case may be, and people was losing their minds. I think we're going to get some more info on this one. I think we're going to get an actual trailer and a release date. That's what I think will happen. That's what I think needs to happen, in my opinion. I think it's supposed to come out sometime next year, if I remember correctly, but there's no release date on it. I think we're going to get it this time around. And speaking of tease, let's move on to number 5. Another Elder Scrolls 6 tease. So I don't think we're going to get a trailer. I don't think we'll get gameplay. I don't think we'll get a release date, but we will get another tease. A little bit of something, because based on what I heard, it's going to be another round. It's going to be a round before this game is dropped. So, and what I mean by round, I don't mean like, oh, next year. I mean like we probably be talking 2 to 3 years. That's my guess right there. But what I'm hearing is it's going to be a long time before this game drops. So since this game was revealed, I think it was at a previous the last E3, which was 2019, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that, but I remember seeing that at one of these shows. It might have been a Microsoft only show, but that was not an E3. But either way, we're gonna get another Elder Scrolls 6 tease, in my opinion. So be on the lookout for that. That's my number 5 prediction on the list. Number 4 on the list is Bayonetta 3. I think we're gonna get gameplay. Not necessarily a release date, but I think we're gonna get some type of gameplay. Apparently, this game was hinted of a few years back, or a couple years back, but we haven't heard anything about it since. Obviously, people have been craving for it. You know, it's a good game, it's a good series. So I think we're gonna get something about Bayonetta 3 this year. Now, speaking of number 3, check out my number 3 prediction. We're gonna get an announcement, not a gameplay, not release date, but an announcement of a fighting game from a well-known franchise. So what I mean by well-known franchise, I mean Street Fighter. Capcom got their own show. Tekken, I believe Namco Bandai got their own show. Mortal Kombat, they could be showing up doing Microsoft's joint. So it could be any of those. It could be Dead or Alive. It could be Soul Calibur. I don't care. But we're going to get some type of announcement in regards to a well-known fighting game from a well-known franchise. So I think we're going to get that at E3 as well. So that's my number 3 prediction. Now for my number 2 prediction. Metroid 4 trailer and release date. Because remember, they announced Metroid 4 a couple of years ago, and nobody heard anything about it since. So now would be the time to get some news on that. And at this point, I think we're going to get a trailer. I think we're going to get a release date. Same as Breath of the Wild 2. Since I believe that they're going to be a Super Nintendo Switch, I think really those 3 to 4 games, Metroid 4, Bayonetta 3, Breath of the Wild 2 rather, and Pokemon Legends Arceus will all be on the Super Nintendo Switch. I think it makes sense for them to come out strong to make people want to get a new Super Nintendo Switch, or a Super Nintendo Switch rather. Especially since the majority of us have a Nintendo Switch already. So they need reasons for us to get this new system. And those 4 games being released on that system would be good enough reasons, in my opinion. And the number 1 prediction that I have, this is less likely to happen, but I'm gonna make it anyway. You know me, when it comes to these E3 predictions or these E3 possibilities videos, whatever the case may be, I always mention this franchise in those videos, and that is this. We're gonna get a new Kingdom Hearts game announced. Yes, so here's the deal. Kingdom Hearts 3 is done with, pretty much. And they just finished Union Cross, and the ending is crazy. A lot of people have a lot of questions. A lot of people have been talking about that ending for quite a while now. And I know, obviously, they got rid of Melodies. That's done as well. So it's time for a new, something, you know, they need to give us Square Enix, that is. And they have their own show, too. But Square Enix need to give us something to look forward to. And I think a new Kingdom Hearts game, I don't care in what way, handheld, console, I don't care. They need to give us something to look forward to within the Kingdom Hearts series. because they got phases like it's freaking Marvel Cinematic Universe. They got phases, and we just got done with one phase, and we're going into another one. So I think they need to announce a new Kingdom Hearts game, and I think it'll happen at E3. So those are my 10 predictions for this year's E3. What are your predictions? Let me know in the comment section below. But I'm gonna call it a wrap. And with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New J Gatsby, aka the new Stimulate Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.